Hello, my name is Shobha, and welcome to my travel and social commentary channel. If you're new, introduce yourself in the comments below. I love to hear from new people. And if you are returning, welcome back. I'm glad you came back. If you guys like what you see, remember to click like and to subscribe below. So on this video, we're going to talk about Miya Ponsetto. She is known also as the Soho Karen, and she made the news recently for all the wrong reasons. Basically assaulting a child in a hotel in New York because she thought the kid had her stolen iPhone. And it was clearly tragic. So a quick recap about Miya Ponsetto if you don't know the story. She's a California woman who was in New York City for the Christmas holidays. If you know anything about Christmas in New York, you know it's super busy. She was at the lobby of the Arlo Hotel in the Soho area of New York. So anyway, Miya discovers her phone is gone as she's in the hotel at the lobby. Then she decides that this black kid must have it and harasses him to give it back. When he walks away saying he doesn't have her phone, she tackles him. Next thing you know, the father is hauling her off his son and posts about their ordeal online.
Are you kidding me? You feel like there's only one iPhone made in the world?
No, okay, then show me the.
No, you get a life.
Okay.
So anyway, it turns out this girl wasn't even staying at the Arlo Hotel. She had stayed at the Arlo Hotel and then moved into an Airbnb nearby and then came back to the hotel. And we know this because the Airbnb owner was really upset about all the damage she had done to his apartment. So, a winner. Her phone is returned by the Uber car driver. She had left her phone in the Uber when she went to the hotel. Can I also say that I was not impressed with the way the hotel handled the situation? When it all kicked off, or even when it started, they should have just called the police. Their obligation was to the Harolds, who were hotel guests, not this Miya chick. So now she's been charged in New York with assault and a bunch of other things. But first, they had to find her in California, where she was forcibly arrested and she had to return to New York City for the charge. The dad's post on social media has gone viral, which is how they found Miya. He's a really big deal in the jazz world and has worked with many famous people. It was obviously another instance of assumptions made about African Americans. Miya pretty much zeroed in on this black kid and assumed his phone must be hers. Why can't a black kid have a nice phone? Hello, I'm sure that Harolds have more money than her. They were the ones staying at the hotel, and it turns out that she was the one that had this sketch life in California with a couple of arrests and being sued for not paying rent. Then this dumb chick gives an interview to Gayle King, Oprah's BFF. The interview was shocking, not in a good way, but in showing off her ignorance and complete lack of self-awareness. First, she tries a sympathy card. A girl alone in a big city. Please, this woman is no ingenue. She can handle herself in New York City.
He's 14, and that's what they're claiming. Yeah, I'm 22. I've lived probably just the same amount of life as him. Like, honestly, I'm just as a kid at heart as he is.
She talks about herself as his girl and the kid as a guy, so she's using semantics, changing the words to make her seem more vulnerable. At 22, she's not a girl, she's a woman. And at 14, the kid is a kid, not a guy. Generally, boys start shaving and stuff at 15. So at 14, a boy is in that weird in-between stage. Definitely not an adult. When she's asked why she tackled the kid, she automatically goes into the whataboutism argument. She's like, what about the dad pulling her off his kid? Hello? Girl, he was defending his kid. He has every right as a parent to protect his child. And it's instinctive to jump in when your kid is in danger.
How is one girl accusing a guy about a phone, a crime?
Back into the recesses of my memory, they teach you in first year of law school criminal law that assault can start by simply threatening someone. Battery is when you make good on that threat. The way she reacted to this kid screaming and getting in his face was definitely assault. She kind of put the nail in her coffin when she touched that kid after yelling at him. The way the world is, just yelling at someone is so commonplace that you generally don't get an assault charge until something physical happens. And then she has this dumb argument that she isn't a racist because she's part Puerto Rican. What? Hasn't she heard of colorism? But probably not. She doesn't seem that educated. So, the definition of colorism is prejudice or discrimination, especially within a racial or ethnic group, favoring people with lighter skin over those with darker skin. So, if people of color can pick on other people of color, obviously they can be racist.
You keep saying you're Puerto Rican. Does that mean that you can't be racist because you're saying you're a woman of color? Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
I'm a woman of color, I'm Indian, and I've got to say that colorism is an issue in the community, as is racism. If you've seen Mississippi Masala, it's a great 1991 movie, the first one by Mira Nair and featuring a very young Denzel Washington. It's about an Indian family in Mississippi that run motels. That's a running joke. Indians seem to run motels in the most random places. The ones in the deep south are Indians who were originally taken to Uganda to build railroads by the British. Post-railroads, the Indians stayed on and opened businesses, but they got kicked out of the country by Idi Amin, who took all their property. The theory that Idi Amin proposed was that Africa should be for Africans. So many of these Indians left Uganda and relocated to the USA to start over. The daughter Mina falls in love with a black man, Denzel Washington, and the families don't react well. There's a fabulous quote by the gossipy aunties in Mina's social world. The local catch, Harry Patel, shows an interest in Mina, but they shoot that down because they assume that she's too dark to be considered pretty and to attract Harry Patel.
It's a long way from India to Mississippi.
I'm a mixed masala.
Hot and spicy.
Academy Award winner Denzel Washington.
I ain't no saint.
Chance. Arey, you can be dark and have money, or you can be fair and have no money. But you can't be dark and have no money and expect to get Harry Patel.
So back to Mia. She disputes whether the Uber guy really returned the phone. You know, maybe it had magically appeared at the hotel and they had been hiding it all along. It's that throwing an alternative theory into the mess just to muddy the waters. It's a total reaction in this world of alternative facts we live in.
After I had accused this person of stealing my phone, how is it that all of a sudden they just miraculously have my phone when I come back? And it didn't seem as if my accusations really bothered the son and the father, because they were just enjoying a nice meal right after this whole encounter.
Eating an expensive meal with his dad. What do you know about that? When you tackled him, the family was on their way down to breakfast. Do you know how many times I've sat down with my kids over something normal like a meal to talk about stuff? It's easier to talk when you keep their hands busy or their mind focused on something other than their feelings so they can talk. Otherwise, they just clam up. Keeping the routine probably helps stabilize him. It has nothing to do with how traumatized he was. And frankly, I'm pretty sure my son would still eat even if he were in the middle of an alien invasion. He's a 14-year-old boy. They eat constantly. It's a biological need because they're growing so fast. And then she had the temerity to shush Gayle King. The lack of respect is mind-boggling. How was this woman raised? I mean, girl, this is Gayle King. In 2019, or it might have been 2020, she was on Time's most influential people list. Who the hell are you?
I would like to have a real interview with real questions and real heart and real sincere apology.
So can you imagine how horrifying the situation was? You've woken up the day after Christmas, which is, an amazing holiday, hopefully, because you're in New York. And then you stumble down to breakfast and, I don't know, like we assume we're like most people. We tend to get there just as breakfast is almost finished and we're barely awake, and you stumble downstairs and then this scene unfolds and you haven't even had your first cup of coffee. Oh my God, I would be, confused and distraught.
What do you think? Should the hotel have done things differently? Would it even have made a difference? If you would like to watch any of my other travel content, feel free to check out my other videos. If you guys like what you see, then remember to click like and to subscribe. And also follow me on my blog, which is linked below.